Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's Newry's Loose Women with myself, Amanda Rafferty, Joanne Doyle and Pauline O'Malley. And we are delighted to welcome to this week's show Debbie Maguire from the Rooney, O'Malley and Mcguire School of Dancing. You're very welcome, Debbie. Debbie's come in to join us this week just to tell us all about Irish dancing, how it's changed. It's become more of a sport as opposed to a hobby, what it was when I was doing it.
Yeah, it's just got very competitive now. So, you know, you find when you come into the class, you really have to work the children harder than what we would have done years ago, because they all seem to want to get that gold medal, or they want to compete at the World Championships. So it's just got tougher, and now there's sit-ups involved and there's a lot of training involved before we even start on the steps and the technique.
Small children.
Before you
even very young, Debbie.
Well, the young children.
What age from?
Say from about 3.5,
Seriously?
4 is time enough, I think. But the children come in and you just try to make it fun for the wee ones. You know, they love it. But as they get older, maybe early, you know, teenage years, they're sort of thinking about, oh, we want to do this.
Getting serious.
Yeah, and we want to do this as a career.
They want you to push them then, Debbie?
Then, yeah, it's up to them if they want us to, you know, push them or train them up maybe for shows or whatever. And then they can go on audition and they have that training, that basic training they need. And then they can go and audition for Riverdance or Lord of the Dance or whatever.
It can be a career, Debbie.
It can be a career, and the best career. I did it for...
How long have you been dancing, Debbie?
I danced for... Maybe I
Start at the beginning and tell us the story.
It all began.
It's so very interesting, her life story.
Sure, well known face around anyway for dancing in your family.
Yeah.
Well, we're from a dancing family, so it was nearly like, you know, you did your dancing before you did your homework.
Yes.
My family were very heavily involved with the Irish dancing. They all danced for a lady called Rooney from Newry, very popular dance teacher in Newry, and so it all really stemmed from there. And then I started at 3.5.
Oh my God.
And did all types of dance, but Irish dance was my first love.
It's your passion.
It was my passion, yeah. So then at 17 I decided to audition for Lord of the Dance in Dublin. And
But Debbie, what did you do to prepare for that?
Were you nervous? Yeah, at that age?
Yeah, I was really nervous. And when I arrived in Dublin, I was in the middle of my A-levels at the time, and it was Mother's Day, and it wasn't too long until the exams or whatever, but my mum and my aunt Denise took me down, and I remember the queue was right round the block. It was just manic, but I could see these girls had their wigs on for the audition, but I didn't, and my mum was like shouting at me in the car, I told you should have curled your hair.
Mummies do.
You never listen.
Yeah. Did you not wear the wigs now? They weren't as big.
Not then, they had just sort of come out. But
just curled your hair then?
We curled our hair, and that was a nightmare every night, so maybe that's a blessing for the wigs as well. The children don't have to sleep in these
rags.
Yes,
rags.
I know they are very
you
handy,
you
but I have to say
they're horrible, they're hideous.
I cannot stand them.
The wigs?
I think that
they're dreadful.
They're just, to me, all you can see is that when they're bound, and the hair is just constantly.
Debbie's meant to give them height, is it, in the dance?
What's it about?
Whose idea was that? Was it a man?
Well,
it's a compulsory.
It's not really compulsory, but I think it all comes part and parcel with the costume they wear.
Yeah.
So sometimes if they have this, you know, split costume on,
amazing the costume.
and then it looks. It finishes the look off.
They look unfinished if they haven't got the whole from top to toe.
Yeah, but I'm only a small fish. If I had it my way, I would have the natural hair and everybody in a simple dress, simple costume, and just focus on the dance.
Well, you see, that's where I would come from. It seems to be in a lot of cases very much, you know, the hair, the tan, the makeup, and you're going, but it's about the dancing. You're taking, you know, it's become more like not a fashion show, but you know, it seems to be more that than focusing on the actual dance.
The adjudicators, Debbie, what do they concentrate mark-wise? Are they do they mark on costume and appearance, or is it
well, sometimes you know, It is all to do with the dancing. It's all to do with the technique, and a good adjudicator can see that.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
You know, a really good adjudicator sees past all that.
Yes.
But the parents do like their children to
Yeah.
look nice on the stage.
But that's OTT.
And that's competition in itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, there is a bit of pressure as well to get the nice costume and to finish the look off. And some children just look absolutely gorgeous coming onto the stage. But it just gives the children the confidence as well to dance their best.
It's like an alter ego, so to speak, that they're...
The wee persona they put on, and then they go out on stage and they perform to this wee persona.
And it gives them confidence. If they're going to have the confidence, they're going to dance brilliantly. Yeah. And it all sort of adds to it. But
and the expense, it adds to that too.
Yeah, it is. It's like,
What would
very
happen, Debbie,
expensive.
if there was a wee child that just didn't have the money and came clean with the wee dress? What would happen?
Irish dancing isn't expensive.
No.
It's
the
the
everything that goes with it.
and the wigs and that. And it's not the teachers that make the money out of Irish dancing, because we only charge for a 2-hour class. The average is £4 or whatever. But it is all that. That is
afterwards, yes.
But when people come and they say, "Oh, we don't want our child to dance because it's too expensive," it doesn't have to be. You know, they can come, they can enjoy their dancing, they can learn their Irish culture.
It's a skill.
They don't need
But you see, for the age of them, I personally, the tan and the makeup for young wee children, like, does it have to? Do they all do that? Because
well, they're not allowed to wear makeup until they're 13 in Irish
that's
dance.
good. That's good.
So
didn't realise.
but maybe in America they're sort of comparing it to the pageants.
I was going to say
different.
We're getting mixed up with the look of the pageants.
It does get bad press, but what we see in the background is children coming into their class, working so hard. The talent is unbelievable. What they're learning is very difficult. And then all the press seem to see is the other, and it's not about that. There's so much more comes out of Irish dancing than that.
It's amazing. How often do they go to class? Like I know 1 or 2 that are in your class, and it just appears to be they're dancing and training and dancing and training. It's a life thing. Like, I mean, it's such a commitment.
Yeah, it is. If you want it to be like that, if you want to do well, you probably do have to. It's like any sport. Yes. If you want to do well at it, you need to be
disciplined,
and you need to be disciplined, and you need to come to your class, and then they have a team class where they all come together, and the result at a World Championship is unbelievable. You know, when they get that gold medal, everything's worth it. You know, parents have a ball. We went down to Killarney this year. We had our first ever solo world champion, Anya Malone. The celebrations after that was amazing. Micah Flatley was there.
We're going to get on to that.
Yes, I think we have a little picture with Anya and Michael.
Story with every photo.
The teams as well. So if a child isn't as strong a solo dancer, they're going to make it up for it in a team.
Yes.
And the confidence it builds in a child to get a gold medal at a world championship in a team is amazing. And then they also have the opportunity to dance a freestyle, which is, you know, I pick the music and choreograph a set piece 5 minutes long, where they use their arms, and it's a bit of show dancing, and there's a story to it, and the children, and it's getting most of the children involved in that, and they don't have to be your big solo dancer. But that took the house down at the World. And the parents and children involved in that were so proud to be involved in that, and that's what dancing's all about. You know, it's not, and then they get to do weddings, perform at weddings, and there's so much out of Irish dancing. They love going to their class for the social aspect. They're, you know, socialising outside of class, and instead of standing in the street corner on Saturday evening, they might be going to dance at a wedding and get paid for it.
Exactly, and they've got to focus. And but like as we were saying there, how your journey started whenever you were went round the doors and never back.
As soon as the wigs were mentioned,
yes, that's
right. When I got into the audition, the first thing we were told was, anybody has wigs on, take them off straight away.
Okay.
Oh, so you were lucky then.
Debbie, was this the first ever audition for Riverdance?
This my first ever. It was Lord of the Dance. It was Michael Flatley's new show. He left Riverdance and he created his own show. And take the wigs off, just be as natural as you can, and dance using your arms or whatever, and just dance. So that was it. And then as the day went on, I kept getting a call back and a call back, and I could see my mum and my aunt's face through the window. They were just like going
crazy.
So then it ended up, they sent us a letter out a few weeks, it was about 6 weeks before the A-level exams. And it just said, you know, you're invited to Newcastle in England for a 6-week training course with the show, and then after that maybe Los Angeles or
maybe Debbie, and maybe
if you get through the 6 weeks.
Was this running coinciding with her A-levels?
Well, I had to decide whether to drop the A-levels or you know, go. So
it's like
my mother just said, Debbie, so it's an
opportunity. Absolutely, you can repeat it.
And the shows were very new then, so it was everything was new about the shows. So I went into school on the Monday, told them what happened.
Sacred Heart.
In the Sacred Heart. And the teachers were very supportive. Now,
that's
you were like, what are you going to do? But they were very supportive. They told me maybe take a few books with you.
Yeah, maybe not.
And then, you know, but you can always do them next year or whatever. But what happened was I went for 6 weeks to Newcastle, the most grueling rehearsals. I'll never forget it. But my heart wanted to be there.
Yeah.
But then they actually let me off for a few weeks to go back home and sit my A-levels.
Oh, wow.
So try to cram at the last minute.
How do you do that? Get off a roller coaster like that and come and sit in yourself? Good girl.
Good girl.
And yeah, and I actually did well enough, and I was very pleased. So it meant then I could defer a course in university.
Wow.
So I left. It was supposed to be for a year.
Oh, hello.
And it ended up 10 years in total.
Is that how long you toured with?
Yeah, well, on and off. I did come back and went to university,
wow.
and then went back because it was.
That, as you say, that's what your heart was. That's what you wanted to do.
From I was no height, all I ever wanted to do was dance.
And Debbie did lots of the children. Do you find that's what they're all pushing towards? Maybe going down that line.
Yeah, there's a few now in the class that you can see would go down that line, could get into river dance or order dance or whatever.
And would you encourage them? Yes.
Yeah.
I would encourage those few, to go.
And where are your classes?
Our classes are in Newry and South Armagh,
Right.
so all over South Armagh and Newry as well.
But you have been everywhere with
everywhere, yeah.
Lord of the Dance.
We toured America, South America, Canada, Asia, all over Europe.
God.
Wow.
And it was just the most amazing time ever. Really, really.
It probably still
amazing.
seems surreal. Do you sit and think, God, did I actually? Yes, I met, again, we'll see a few photographs here, Prince Charles, and who else? Rod Stewart.
Yeah,
and
we met Rod Stewart when we were in Boston, and we were playing in the Wang Theatre, and he was playing in the Wang Theatre the following night. But there was a nightclub next door. We were only 19 at the time, and you know, you had to be 21 in America to drink, but it wasn't as tight as it is now. This was before 9/11, so everything was a bit, you know. So we ended up, this chaperone took us into this nightclub, and we got to the top of the queue. He says, these girls are from Lord of the Dance. Oh, they're not the only celebrities in here tonight. Rod Stewart's here too. We walked in, and there he was in the VIP corner with, there's only 6 of us there at the time. 6 girls sat beside him the whole night. And talked away. And
no way.
Yeah.
Was he lovely?
He was lovely.
The stories you can tell your grandchildren, Deb, it'll just be amazing.
It was amazing. So I'd advise any child, if they're strong and they want to do that for their career, to go.
Go for it.
You're touring the world, you're getting paid for something you love doing.
Oh,
and experience is an education in itself, you know.
You were saying there that dancing and all that is in the blood, like your mum and her sisters and all. Is there any of the family sort of rebelled against it and said, I'm not doing that?
No, I can't remember anybody. Although,
because there's always one that'll just say, no, I don't want to do it.
Well, she actually married Eamon, who's
a dancer as well.
An Irish dancer as well. And then Charlie, their wee boy, he started.
Oh, well, I don't know if he'll dance, but he's only 2. I think I'd rather him go to the football than start all the dancing. Yeah.
You never know.
But no, Eamon danced as well, and he was 5 years older than me in the competition end of it. Always had a bit of a crush on him, but he just ignored me that whole time. But
you didn't give up.
I didn't. He only noticed me when I got into Lord of the Dance.
You see?
Oh my God, that's not true. You were too young. You were too young.
And he danced in it for a year himself, but it was a different
level.
Trip. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, and then we ended up getting together then, and that was it. So,
but even when you were with him and you were still travelling the world, Debbie, and doing your dancing, you
yes,
loved it. Like
yeah, I would leave and bye-bye, and I'll go away off again.
Yeah.
You know.
See you in a couple of months.
A couple of months, it was a couple of months.
But I'd say we have a few photographs here, if you want to just...
talk us through. Tell
speaking
us
of
a story about
there's hubby there.
That's Mrs. Keenan, otherwise known as Eileen Rooney. And Anya Malone is the wee girl that won the world, the first child to win it for us this year in Killarney. And
some achievement. You just
amazing.
said the world.
Yeah,
like, that's the world, Debbie.
World Championships, an amazing achievement for her because she's been knocking the door. She won the Ulster 4 times in a row.
And where's she from?
She's from Whitecross.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
What age is she, Debbie?
And she's 14.
14.
Oh, she's a baby.
So we had a big celebration for her during the year after she won, and for the rest of the school for winning all their teams. So with the cake and all there, and we had a massive night for her in Calevi.
Oh, I would say you
did.
Celebrated in style.
You were there.
And Pauline was there.
The champagne was
Well, we all know if there's any night out that Pauline O'Malley will be there.
There's no show without punch.
No.
Oh, and look at this photo now, Debbie.
Yeah.
Talk us through this. How did this come about?
Well, this was actually my very last show with Lord of the Dance. And I had left, it was just before I got married, I had left, but they gave me a call to say, would you come over for a weekend to London to dance in St James's Palace? So we didn't really know the ins and outs of it until we got there. It was all hush-hush. And then it ended up, we were dancing in St James's Palace along with Shirley Bassey at a private party. Prince Charles had organised for a friend of his.
Right.
It was his 80th birthday, and so he had organised this very private, intimate party in St James's. Requested Lord of the Dance and Shirley Bassey.
Oh my God,
and
Debbie.
it was just amazing.
Like,
I didn't know.
nervous, like, to meet.
We didn't really know what we were doing until maybe an hour before.
To tell you what to do.
Yeah.
But this is local. This is something that you've achieved locally
that's
on our
amazing.
doorstep, and we
Yeah.
didn't know that.
No.
You know, nobody has ever.
Yeah.
Like, I was not aware of that until one of your friends posted a photograph on Facebook of
Yeah. It was amazing.
It's also quiet.
Yes, you're very humble, Debbie.
Yes,
It
you're
is
very humble
yeah.
yourself and
Yeah.
him and about your achievements
Yeah.
and all. You know.
I would be singing it from the rooftops.
And what did Prince Charles say there? What was he saying? And how does he sound? Does he talk?
He does. He talks very posh, yeah.
You talk posh back?
No, I just kept the Newry accent going.
Oh, did you?
I've never lost that very Newry accent.
Like, did he say anything? Like, was he normal?
He just said he enjoyed the performance and he hopes to see it again soon, and he always loved Lord of the Dance.
Yeah, that's great.
God, what an achievement.
Oh, and here's
There's
the man
Mr.
himself.
Flatley.
There he is. Well, what happened?
That's your wee one that won the...
That's Anya Malone. And it was a very funny day. We heard Michael Flatley was coming. He said a speech in the arena that day, and he gave a speech about the dancing and stuff. And then Anya had her trophy, her World Globe there that she won, and she was in her costume, and I will get an opportunity to get you a photo with him. But everybody was just running after him, and we couldn't get anywhere near him. But Niamh, his wife, kindly told us to sneak into the Jeep. And so we jumped in the back, and as the crowd were running after Michael, he jumped into the car, and Niamh sped off, and he said, "Girls, I'm going to take my first ever selfie."
Oh my God.
And that was it.
Oh, wow.
And he's a pure gentleman. He really, really is. And his wife Niamh is the nicest person you'll ever meet. A lovely person.
And Niamh's a friend of yours, a personal friend, Debbie.
Yeah, Niamh danced in the show with me,
Right.
and she's a very good friend as well.
brilliant.
And yeah, they're a lovely couple now. They really, really are, and they're very, very down to earth, as you said, Joanne. Very down
That
to
is
earth.
just a lovely picture.
And I was
Lovely
delighted for the
memento.
child. It was
Yeah.
a very special time for her.
Yes.
Time to shine.
She won the world, and she got to meet Michael as
Was
well.
that her
Wow.
first
So a
meeting
double
with him?
wammy, you know.
Yeah, that would mean something to a wee
Amazing.
14-year-old.
Absolutely.
So she'll never forget. I think she says to me after, "It was even better than winning the world." You know. So it was a fantastic week in Killarney. The sun shone like from day one, so people made a holiday out of it that were down for the dancing.
Yes.
And everybody, all the parents and the children had an absolute ball. Nobody wanted to go home. You know, they didn't want to go home.
So it is like their holidays, and parents are really involved, aren't they?
They're really involved. We have a lovely set of parents in the school, and they all support each other, and they support us as the teachers as well. And they come down and they all get on. It's a social thing for them too, you know.
And they travel with the children, Debbie, and stay over. They have to book in and they would stay, and they love it. They make like
any
excuse.
It is. It's brilliant, and all the rehearsals. It's all worth it in the end.
Yeah, and there obviously is.
That's Mrs. Keenan, Eileen Rooney, and.
Look how proud.
She's obviously been in it a long time.
And she has. She's been involved a long time. Taught so many champions in her day, and as I said, taught all my family as well, and they all think the world of her. She's very well respected.
Lovely that she's here.
She's like a granny to all of us.
Yeah, she really is.
And she's from Newry, is she?
She's from Newry, from Courtney Hill, and she'll never miss a feis. And she's always there, but she will tell you, you know, what's not right, you know, in the teams or whatever, and she will. She's a great asset.
She's a lady.
Yeah, she's very well got now. And that's a group of them that all did so well in their solo dancing at the World Championships this year.
Look at those costumes.
Each one individual. Goodness. Debbie, talk us a bit about the costumes. Where do they get them? Where does this come from?
Well, a lot of them get their costumes in Belfast.
Right.
So it depends on what colours they want themselves.
They choose the colours themselves.
They will choose, and they'll show us maybe their colours and their design, and then they'll go ahead and get them made.
Isn't the green beautiful? They're all beautiful, but there's just a wee sparkle.
Remember, you know, that's just the typical.
So, my goodness.
But the wigs.
They all worked hard to get those medals around their necks.
Yeah.
Oh, dear,
it is hard work.
It's
it really
tough
is, yeah.
So if you see past the wigs, the costumes, the talent themselves, the children come to the class, they're there for 2.5 hours, they're sweating the piece out, and you know, the hard work they go through. Yeah. And this is just a presentation on the stage.
And Debbie, I heard one of the wee girls in there in the background there. I would know her.
It's a girl.
I would mention, that's very funny.
There's a girl in the back lying there, Clodagh Morgan, who's seeing this lady. So
that's right. Where is she? The third?
I'm laughing. I just spot her. Three in the back. I didn't expect.
That's Clodagh. She did very. She's a great dancer for us as well, under 16. And she
what about boys? What about the wee boys?
Ronan, where's Ronan? I know Ronan that dances.
They all did really well too. They're not in that photo now, but.
Is it still sort of frowned upon for boys? They still get slagged as much as what they used to?
No, I don't think so, because did you hear there's an All-Ireland footballer there, and
he's
Thomas O'Shea.
Oh,
but it looks more
dance as well.
They look more, probably because of Lord of the Dance and River Dance and all that. There, it's seen more as a manly thing to do.
But he's just been chosen for River Dance, and he's left the football.
No way!
To go to River Dance to tour the world. So it sort of, I think, plays.
And you get many boys in your class, in your school?
We have a good set of boys. A lot of boys in the school.
All different ages.
Well, Aaron did dance. My Aaron danced. It would kill me when he was very young, and then he got scuffed and he dropped out.
You see why did they do that?
It's just pure pressure, and we went. But he says now at 17, Mommy, why didn't I stay with him? Yeah. What was I thinking? Because he looks at Ronan, and Ronan has all the women, and knows on Aaron and say, if I'd have stayed there, look at that.
It's a great place to meet women now.
Well, it is when you think about it. Like it's
absolutely. And Ronan has it great. He loves his dancing.
Oh yeah, he loves it. But they love. That's what I mean. They love the social element.
Well, that's what I loved about it. We would have, because back when I would have done it. It's a couple of years ago. It was more. Yes, it was hard work when you were coming up to faces and things like that there, but the crack you used to have, and you know, going to different faces and saying all that there, but for social.
Yeah, and I'm sure you'll always remember and have them memories. And
absolutely, yes, definitely. And I just when you're saying about team, I remember we won in the All Ireland the 12-hand rail. I think it was around the sort of when it was first coming out, the 12-hand, and we came for it, and like that we went bananas.
I know.
It's just
yeah, it's a great achievement, isn't it? And to be part of something as well. The children being a part of something.
Yeah.
But it was such dedication. Like you're home now, you're married, you've got a wee boy, and now you teach the Irish dance.
Teach full time,
Full time, Dad.
You're lucky when it's something that you're passionate about, that you get to do it.
You need to be passionate about it, because if you weren't, it wouldn't work, and the children wouldn't be doing as well, and you need to have that.
Yeah. They'll feed off you.
Yeah, they do, sure.
Maybe someday she'll dance for us. I've seen Debbie dance.
No, my dancing days are over.
Give us a wee.
Maybe after
in your heels.
After a wee wine or two, I might. But
so here's yourself and Eamon and Michael and his wife.
This was in Killarney. We were invited out by Niamh and Michael for a meal in their hotel. So we
the circles you move in.
We went and but as I said, they're so down to earth.
Yeah.
Lovely.
But Debbie, they're actually your friends.
Yeah.
Like, to you, that's a friendship and years of working with these people.
And Michael has his new show out now in London, in the London Palladium.
You were there.
And we went over, and the show is amazing. So I advise anybody to go.
And what do you call it? Nadine Coyle, isn't she? She sings in it.
I would love to see it.
But it's coming to Belfast.
Oh, is it?
Dublin around March time.
Over yes.
Well worth booking tickets for that.
So I would advise.
But it does take your breath away when you're watching all of that. It literally is.
Yeah. You need to see it for real, don't you? Really be there.
And he's still as good as ever.
Yeah.
You know.
And girls, you'll be pleased to know.
What's that?
The Debbie's now doing an adult woman class.
I'm not sure if my pelvic floor would allow that.
Oh, girls, I hope to see you up there.
First dedication.
It's great crack, you know.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were joking.
No, she has started.
Well, Debbie, I wouldn't want to put the other mummies to shame because I'd be so fabulous.
What age you like to be, Matt?
Well, I try to keep it between 16 to 80.
Well, then I'm all right then.
No, we'll give 81 maybe a go as well. It has started.
The mummies were I know. I haven't been, but I've heard all the mummies.
Oh, I would love that. So
started in Drummondtee. It's on a Thursday night from 7:30 to 8:30. And it's
5 minutes up the Dublin Road.
Yes, yeah.
It's dead easy, Joanne.
For anybody that has danced before but hasn't danced either. It's fitness.
Oh,
you see, I'm now.
You can see the three of us.
No, because the girls, I spoke to 1 or 2 of the other girls that have done it, and they are loving it. And they hadn't Irish danced before.
It's a great exercise. It is unbelievable. Yeah.
And it's a fun thing to do.
It's a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
And you never know, Michael Flatley might come knock.
We could be in the next block of photographs with Michael Flatley.
Instead of the river dance, the grannies dance.
Well, on that note of food for thought, the adult Irish dancing, Debbie, thank you so much for coming in and just giving us a wee bit more of an insight into Irish dancing. And as you say, there's more to it than the wigs, the tan, the makeup, and the fabulous dresses. There's talent and a lot of hard work.
A lot of hard work. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks, Debbie.
Thank you.
So we'll be back in a few minutes with the next part of the show.
Hi, my name is Sarah, and I'm just going to run through what digital signage is and how it can benefit your business. Let me once again explain. Digital signage is just a fancy word for your products and services being displayed on your screens within your premises. It is aimed at the customers who enter your premises to make them aware of all your services, which may include offers and promotions. This will encourage them to spend more with you rather than your competition. You might be amazed at the number of people who visit your business who buy other products or services from your competitor because they did not know that you offered the same. Do you ever run offers or promotions? Do you ever run events? Can you, hand on heart, say convincingly that all the people entering your business know about all these events, promotions or offers? How do they find out? Is it through local press, local radio, maybe through your own posters placed around your premises? Firstly, there is no guarantee your customer will see your advert. The press might be better to get new clients, though it's usually only available for 1 week or maybe 1 night and then thrown in the bin. And although in-house posters and leaflets are good and customers will read them, they can be time-consuming and expensive. When you consider that 80% of your future business will come from 20% of your existing customers, we would suggest you may be aiming at the wrong people. Those who are already buying from you, already like you, and are comfortable with you. But could they spend more money with you? So, how should you get your brand, your services, your promotions and events across to your customers in an efficient, fast and professional way? We at Vadio believe digital signage is the way. People love television. They are familiar and comfortable looking at a television or screen. as long as the content is engaging and informative. We at Vadio can place your brand, your offers and promotions on your screens, allowing your customers to become more informed of what you do and offer. It's as simple as that. So here is an example of a television with Vadio digital signage. As you can see, there is a top banner. This banner can change as many times as you like. Here are the side banners, which can complement your top banner, and here is your ticker bar, which can offer up-to-the-minute latest news, sport, etc., which again helps to attract the viewer, but more importantly, engage. And research has shown if a viewer engages with the content, they will engage with the advert. Here is the middle video section again. Unlike some of the older systems which just run advertisements or images, this section can have video you created and adverts in the form of images or live television. We have a lot of flexibility with our Vadio system, which allow us to go full screen and just schedule adverts to drop down at intervals set by you. That's it. Vadio offer to fully utilize what you already have to help you earn more money. You already have the premises, you're paying the rent, lease or mortgage, you're paying the staff. You have the products and services, just tell your customers. A famous quote which circled the marketing world and to a certain degree shook the business world goes like this: "It amazes me to see businesses spending millions of dollars every year trying to get me into their premises when I was already in there and they just didn't tell me all they do." So if you want to increase your sales, you need to market more to your existing customers. And we at Vadio believe we have the solution. Thank you.
Hi everyone and welcome back to this week's Newry's Loose Women with myself, Amanda Rafferty, Doyle and Pauline O'Malley. Now we had the lovely, you all right there Pauline? You having a wee giggle attack? We had the lovely Debbie Maguire in there speaking to her.
Debbie Maguire / O'Malley.
/ O'Malley, okay.
Sister-in-law.
Well, double bars.
She was your sister-in-law, Pauline.
I know, that just shows you
Forgot
how
to
I
mention
don't...
that.
Oh yes, she was Pauline's sister-in-law.
Yeah.
But a point that you had made in the interview was that she is a local girl and she's achieved so much and she's travelled the world, and we didn't really, only that you are her sister-in-law, that you probably know so much of what she has got up to. But
she's a high achiever.
yes,
That's fantastic.
and
I
she's
didn't
local.
realise all that about her.
But you wouldn't really hear much about that, which leads us on to, now this is a bit of a bugbear of all of ours.
Three of us, yeah.
Go on, spit it out, Amanda.
Say it, Amanda.
Just go
Say
for
it.
it.
Maybe you'd be better saying it.
No, I will not. I'm going to sit. I'm very quiet.
It's all very much around Newry, promoting local, using local,
Yes.
shopping local,
Yes.
etc., etc., etc. But when it comes to the bit, does it actually happen?
No.
No.
Okay.
No. To the special events or the big events,
Uh-huh.
the Newry ones have an awful habit of thinking, oh my God, oh, you couldn't go to Newry for that. You have to go to Belfast.
Yes.
Yes,
And you
or
have to pay
further
lots more
afield.
money, and you have to pay them 10 times the
Megabucks.
rates you would pay local people to do the job. So they have this fixation where if you pay more, you get a better job.
We're
You're
not
worth
good
more.
enough in Newry.
I don't even think it's that. They have this notion that if you charge more and
It's a
you're
better
from
job.
Belfast or,
or
Belfast.
wherever else outside of Newry.
Yeah, that you're somehow elite and on a higher standard, and therefore they'll get a better job done.
So my makeup isn't as good as somebody else doing.
Well, Joanne, you and I both know very well that there's been one or two major events where not one local beautician was used, and they paid over
Hairdressers
the
or makeup
odds
artists,
to take artists
Stylists.
or beauticians and whatever. I've no problem. Some of them are outstanding. I go to some of them myself outside of Newry.
Yeah.
Well, I don't understand why we're promoting local shops, local businesses, Destination Newry. Everything's local.
Yeah.
The shopping centres do a bit of local.
Yeah.
But they veer off also, and I don't understand. I don't.
Like there, you work with a lot of models, Pauline, and you want to promote local Newry and more, not just Newry.
I tried to do it with Newry local models.
You take them into all the fashion shows that.
I would try to, and I try to have a wee business in Newry whereby girls, you could earn a fortune in Newry having a modelling school.
Yes.
And all the young ones are so keen on it and doing PR work. Because quite honestly, there's a lot of money to be made.
And there's a lot of girls around
and
here.
There's a lot of young.
But you had a lot of interest. There was a lot of interest when you were doing that.
Girls so interested in doing PR work, promotion work, that is, and modelling work, fashion work. Oh, there's that much that it falls in under. You could have a business running for that, but the Newry, none of the Newry businesses would use.
They go elsewhere.
They go elsewhere.
Why
so is that what you were up against? You had the people, the demand was there, people wanted to come and do it and learn the tricks of the trade and what have you, but when it came to the bit and you wanted the support from the local businesses.
The wee models to go out and learn a wee bit, or, you know, to get a bit of PR experience. Like, they weren't looking big money, it was just a wee bit of experience. It's much nicer to have a wee stepping board here local before they go maybe to Belfast or London to try and do it. It is so daunting, because I had to do it, and it's daunting and terrifying, and there was nothing here just to keep them safe for a wee while and guide them.
But why is that? Is it are we incapable of, is it sort of the attitude, no, I was going to say, is it the attitude, oh sure, it's only Newry, sure, they don't really have much to offer, but we're talking about the people that's in Newry. Now, don't get us wrong, it's not all businesses but there is,
there's a stigma.
There's a big...
Like, the Belfast ones must laugh.
I think we're we farmers.
They must actually laugh because
we're the cultures. The cultures.
But a lot of them, they send to Belfast and think they're getting...
a better quality.
I don't know what they think they're getting, when they're really not, because...
They have it here.
Like, on their books in Belfast, they would have... I would be on their books.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Or somebody from Bangor's on their books. I don't understand what they think they're getting.
Do you know what it's like in a way?
Makeup-wise, Joanne? What girl in Belfast learnt more than what you've learned?
Yes,
so why are they shipping in from Belfast to do makeup or to do hers? Or none of it makes sense. Although, you know, some of the local hairdressers and beauticians, I don't know, do they offer their services to the big events in Belfast and Dublin? And
what about the big events here in Newry? You know.
Yeah, I don't know. Do they get to host big events there?
But what is, I don't understand, what is the mindset? Why, you know, it's a total contradiction, because they're all, as I said, wanting to support local, support. And then when you want the support,
it's given away.
You just push to one side.
It's our local businesses that are given money outside the community to host loads of different things, Amanda. Like, even one or two shows you've gone to, they've had local entertainment.
Yes.
Or they've had entertainment at local events. And they've gone outside of the town to bring them in.
Instead of using all their own
talented... There's a wealth of talent in Newry. And
but that's what it's as
get that calling or payment for doing it. I don't know what it is. Somebody needs to come
Please
on
tell us what it is. What's the reason behind it?
Well, Amanda, have you felt it, or you felt it, Joanne? Has it ever happened to you personally where you thought, I could have done that?
Well, yeah, because we all are trained the same way. Well, and with your style, and Amanda, you know, how do you feel?
It's just
like you've trained in the same way as somebody else.
I don't know. Again, it's maybe that stigma, as you said, it's attached to. It's only Newry. It's only a wee.
I think it's nearly like the degree heads as well. Do you know where you get this? If
you need a degree to be intelligent.
Or to do a certain job. Once you have a degree, like,
then
you know,
you're okay.
You're up here, and anybody minus the degree. I don't know if you've ever had that, but like, I'm well educated, you know, but just didn't go on to university. Went on to further education, but not on to university. But educated myself in loads of other ways.
Yes.
In life
experiences.
And it's so funny, you know, even the degree heads, as you call them, again, not all of them, don't want to be ruffling feathers.
You don't,
but a lot of them couldn't have a conversation with you.
Exactly. Like you talk to an employer and they'd say, give me somebody with a degree and give me somebody with real life experience any day and a bit of an education.
Yeah.
The ones with the degree really need a bit of experience in life.
The University of Life is hard to beat
it's
sometimes.
I think it's
like
much harder.
Yes.
Like that we saying.
But you do find like that there, like common sense and people skills and all of that there is non-existent. Okay, show me the brown envelope with your degree and whatever you have, but sit down and have a conversation with me. Now, you don't need to throw in massive big words into the middle of the conversation just to back up the degree that you have.
I wouldn't have those
really,
words, would you?
that irritates me as well.
I know, it's like that. There's like a stigma with that. But is that what's wrong with the Newry ones? Do they think that there's a better qualification if you live down the road?
All right, okay.
Or that people are more pretty if they live outside Newry because they go for the models outside of Newry because what's so wrong with the ones that's inside Newry?
Hairdressers. What is that? The hairdressers in Newry are outstanding. I know some of the hairdressers that are taken to Belfast.
Fabulous, yeah.
For 1 or 2 shows.
But it's as if they're not even given the chance. You know the way if you say somebody's maybe out of work and they're going for job interviews and say, oh God, you need experience, and they're going, well, I can't get the experience because I'm not, you know, it's that sort of double-edged sword. But it's the same here. Give the people of Newry a chance to prove themselves.
Local. I hate these people that come under local this and local that, and then anything that is going to give the youth of Newry, the young people of Newry, even the older people of Newry, you know, a bit of a boost, confidence. They're not for using them.
We can all do the same job.
They don't use them. They don't.
No, they don't. They don't.
They seem to have this, as you say.
I think we've all come across it, the three of us.
Yeah, we've all experienced it. It would just be interesting to have other people experience it.
And I'm sure in other fields, because we can only sort of talk from our own personal experience, but in other areas that, I said, they just don't seem to be given.
I wonder, tradespeople, do they feel it in different trades and that?
Or do they source out to
the source out?
To somewhere else?
Newry Council. Daisy Hill, I don't know. I mean, just this is in our line of work. We've experienced it all firsthand. It would be very interesting to know the other people experience it. You know, where do they source for their jobs? You know,
that would be interesting.
Yeah, because like even you have the big stores and all, and I go on Tesco's and all. Oh, everything local. They're trying to get on that bandwagon of local. But sure, if the local ones aren't doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
But it is very funny like that, as you say. They're all local, supporting local, and the ones that are all, you know, singing it from the rooftops are the first ones to go.
Shimmy down the road. To pay more money to
for the same quality of work.
But do you know what?
They obviously don't think.
Well, that's it. To say, you know, they could come back and say, well, no, actually, it is you get a better job done from people outside of the area. So we could be wrong, but it's just our...
No, I don't think we are. I don't know. I just wish somebody else would come on board and be honest about it and tell us why.
Yeah.
And what their problem is, why they do that. Do you know? And then you have the other people that are using local all the time and seem to be doing everything so well.
Yeah.
Do you know? We should name and shame next time.
There's even like in the little or ladle, what is it?
Little.
There in their ads are using, there's people we know, and they're you know, the farmers and that.
And that's not even a local business.
Yes, but they're using
they're showing local.
Peter Murray has done it.
Yeah.
He has done it. There's a poster up there. I've seen
a
it this
local
morning
family
driving in, and he has a local family up in that poster. You know, but
well, we'll give it to Mr. Murray. He is quite good at supporting
we veer here a wee bit and veer there a wee bit, you know.
But
did you see that this morning on see the way I said their name and shame? Did you see that this morning about the Twitter trolls?
No. What was this?
Because that's what we're going to do now. We name and shame people that don't use local. But this is about the Twitter trolls. They've actually named a woman this morning. They actually had the cameras on her. This really nice wee woman who appears to be very posh and lives in a lovely wee quaint wee village in England and all. But she was one of the trolls, Madeleine McCann's parents. Said you should die and use her there. Oh,
it was her fault.
Crazy stuff that she said.
So they came and like exposed
Sky
her?
TV exposed her.
Oh my Lord.
Because apparently it's gone to the police now to go over this file of all these Twitter trolls that have abused the McCanns for years. So I don't know why or how Sky could do that, but Sky exposed her this morning, and we're all to her, do you realise that there's a chance now you're going to be prosecuted? But you could see her face out, and it dawning on her, now she's the one that's being named and shamed and put on the spotlight. So
girls, note to self, gotta be very careful.
Oh, I wouldn't comment on anybody's business.
No,
like, I just
at the end of the day, it's their
we just veered totally off the subject. But
wouldn't we like it, Pauline?
Wouldn't we like name and shame anybody that doesn't use local.
We'll hound you.
And we'll take our Sean with his camera behind him, and Sean can film
Sean's like our bodyguard. He's like our bouncer. He looks after us whenever we go out into the public.
Well, Sean can come and we name and shame anybody not using local.
So that is our take on local.
I don't even know where
local sport.
Oh no.
So that's us for this week, ladies.
Yes, that was a good show. Good fun.
Yeah, it was lovely seeing, as I said, somebody local, who's done very well for themselves and is still very humble and very grounded.
Beautiful girl.
Yes,
beautiful girl.
Yeah.
Like, why wasn't their show ever taken? Like, their show won the world's, their freestyle show. And there's lots of events have happened around Newry, but were they ever invited?
Should have been exposed.
Have they been?
Like
I don't know.
Flatley stood up and congratulated them and said what an achievement and all it was.
Should be made more of a bigger deal about it.
Has Newry? Well, was it not in the Reporter?
Oh,
what,
wow.
Or one of the local papers.
Well,
one of the.
Did they phone the Reporter?
I don't know.
I think we should say no more. Say no more.
But did they phone her?
We don't know.
That's the $90 million question.
Well, time will tell. Get in touch.
Okay.
We'd love to hear from you. Yeah. So we'll see you again next week. And thanks, ladies. Thanks for joining me today.
Thanks, Amanda.
You're awful good.
If you want to get in touch, you can do so via the website, Destination Newry's webpage, website, Facebook, radio.ie. I'm going to stumble over myself here because we look forward to hearing from you. And we'll see you again next week. Bye.
Bye.